Hey guys, it's Light here. And Starfield is only 9-ish months away, and I'm super excited for it. I've been following the Starfield hype train since about 2016, and it's hard to believe that it's almost here. So I decided to make a video talking about the things that I want to see slash expect to see in Starfield. I think that this video will be really fun to go back to once the game actually releases to see how much I got right and how much I got wrong. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps out small channels like myself, so it would really mean a lot. Also consider subscribing. I'm hoping to hit 20 subscribers soon, so that would also really mean a lot. With that said and done, let's get into the video. Okay, so right off the bat, I want customizable spaceships. One of the things I was really disappointed by in the Outer Worlds, a game which I loved, was that there was zero customization on a spaceship, the Unreliable. Not even a paint job. I actually want to make my ship my home. Take the Fallout settlement building, improve it, and let me use it to add collectibles, furniture, posters, etc. Just anything I find on my ship. Another thing I want to see brought over from Fallout 4 is Fallout 4's companions. Now, what I mean by this is I want Starfield's companions to have likes and dislikes. I actually want to build a relationship with them. I want them to be affected by the things I do or say, unlike Skyrim where every follower was just a brain-dead robot that blocked every single doorway I tried to get through. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Lydia. But seriously, one of the best things about Fallout 4 was how in-depth their companions were. I fell in love with every single one of them. Next, I really want to talk about the outfits, more specifically, the concept art. All we've pretty much seen is spacesuits, and don't get me wrong, they look great, but I hope it isn't all spacesuits, you know? I'd like some regular outfits, maybe in the style of Han Solo or even Star-Lord. So next, let's talk gameplay, or more specifically, the worlds. I know it's kind of a lot to ask, but I'm really hoping that every world feels like a world. I hope every world feels like a real Bethesda map, is what I mean. I don't want it to feel empty, I want there to be multiple locations on each world, all filled with lore and story and characters. I want every world to feel like a Skyrim or Fallout map. Now, there has been a rumour that every world is the size of Skyrim's map, but honestly, I find that very hard to believe, although with Creation Engine 2, who knows what Bethesda can pull off. Now, I want to talk about weapons and how they'll play. One of the great things about Fallout 4 was the gunplay. It felt so smooth compared to Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. I hope Bethesda continues down this path, although it's very likely that they will. Next, let's talk choices. In Skyrim, you have to decide between the Stormcloaks and the Empire, but no matter the choice, the outcome is basically the same and doesn't affect your game at all, besides changing who sits where. In Fallout 4, every ending is basically you blowing up the Institute, unless you side with the Institute. But even then, nothing really changes. I want to feel the actions of my consequences in Starfield. If there's a massive galactic war, and I'm not saying that there will be, but if there's a massive galactic war, make me feel the side I choose actually matters. Even the small things, like make one of my companions hate me for it, banish me from certain places, even if a bar owner just refused to sell me items because he hates what I've done. Things like that. Now, I want to talk about settlement building. Personally, I loved settlement building in Fallout 4, although recently going back to vanilla Fallout, I have realised how awful it is without mods, at least in my opinion. That being said, I hope Bethesda bring back the settlement building, but not necessarily for settlements. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'd love to see this system used to customize my ship. If there's a colony building system, I really hope that Bethesda improve on it. For example, I hope that they've taken some inspiration from Sim Settlements and Scrap That Settlement, two great mods from Fallout 4 that really help fix the settlement building system. Now, let's talk about pets. This little cat has had everybody talking about whether we will get pets in Starfield, and I really hope we do. Can you imagine finding a dog wearing a little spacesuit or something? Anyway, that's pretty much it for that part. So now I want to talk about Radiant quests, and how I want less of them. It's not exactly a secret that Bethesda love Radiant quests, but I really hope that we get less of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine to have a few, but I hope that the majority of these quests are real quests, not go and fetch quests. Now, let's talk fast travel. I hope in order to get to new planets, you actually have to fly your ship to them. Although I'd also like a system, kind of like in the Outer Worlds, where you just pick where you want your ship to go and it kind of teleports there. Once you're actually on said planet, I'd like to see the regular old fast travel system come back. Okay, let's talk locations. We already know that we're getting 3 planets: New Atlantis, Neon, and Aquila. But I really hope that there's more. Maybe a snow planet like Hoth from Star Wars. But you don't even have to do planets. Imagine a rogue moon that you can visit, filled with crime, smugglers, and wanted people hiding out. A place with no laws, essentially. Or even a gigantic ship that you can visit, like the Groundbreaker from the Outer Worlds. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about character creation. Fallout 4 really stepped its game up compared to Skyrim, and Skyrim massively stepped up from Fallout 3 and Oblivion. So, how else can Bethesda improve? I absolutely love the sculpting from Fallout 4, so I'd like to see that continued, but like I said, what else can they actually add to improve on this? Well, there's a lot, to be honest. Instead of having set colours for everything, why not have everything done by a colour wheel? I'm talking skin tone, hair, eyes. This would give us so much more freedom. I'd also like to see vast amounts of hairstyles. I personally have always been disappointed with most of the hairstyles in Bethesda games, and I often use mods to get more. I'd also like to see the introduction of body tattoos. Fallout 4 had those weird face tattoos that hardly anyone actually used. I'd love to see more tattoos. Bethesda could really take some inspiration from the tattoo stores in GTA Online / GTA 5. Now I want to take a moment to talk about traders. No doubt that we'll likely see inns, doctors, weapons, armor, and general goods store traders. But what else can they add? Like I said before, I think the inclusion of tattoo stores could be really fun. You could also do piercing stores, and a few mechanic stores. This would be where you could upgrade and buy new parts and paint your spaceship. Speaking of which, I'd absolutely love to pick a custom name for my ship. Even if Bethesda gave us a few pre-recorded versions to choose from, kind of like how they did with the nicknames in the Railroad faction from Fallout 4, it would be better than being stuck with the same spaceship name. Now of course, I couldn't do this video without talking about bugs. As you're all probably aware, there's a reason that Bethesda's nickname is Bugfesda. And don't get me wrong, some of these bugs are hilarious, and bugs are kind of what make Bethesda games whole. But I hope that we do get fewer of them. A game this big is no doubt going to launch with bugs and glitches, and that's okay, I can understand that. But please, don't give me another Fallout 76 or Cyberpunk. Bethesda have been working on this game since late 2016, so basically 6 years. So I honestly expect the game to be relatively bug-free. Now let's talk survival. Survival mode in Skyrim and Fallout 4 is super fun. I actually find it difficult to play a new game without using survival mode now. So how would it work in Starfield? Well, I'd like to see a mechanic where your space helmet or mask cracks and breaks if it's hit during combat. I'd also like to see a mechanic where you run out of oxygen and have to try and find more somehow. Now, I want to mention animation. One of the things I love in Fallout 4 is the animation of your character using the stim pack, but I wish there was more. I wish Bethesda included an animation for using Jet, Psycho, and all of the rest of the chems. I really hope that Starfield has a lot of animations like this for nearly every drug or consumable in the game. Just the little things like this make the game so much more immersive in my opinion, and honestly so much more fun. Well, that's basically my ultimate wish list. Honestly, I could go on for like over an hour talking about this, but for the sake of this video I'm not going to. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, it really helps support small channels like myself, so it would really mean a lot. Also, consider subscribing. I'm hoping to hit 20 subscribers sometime soon, so that would also really mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one.